In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the driver's side fuel transfer unit in this BMW X5. This is going to be located underneath the back seat on the driver's side. Let's get into it. You're going to remove the back seat. Just grab under the front, lift up. And you're going to push the seat belts through. Pull those out. Just move that forward. If you want to, you can disconnect the belt from the base right here. Use a T50 socket. Take this bolt out. Slide that through the seat. Just be careful not to rip anything. Now you can pull the seat out of the vehicle. We're going to remove this trim piece. Before we do that, take the weather strip. You just want to pull that up. Just like that. Pull that out of the way and just grab the trim. Pull it towards the front of the vehicle. Just with a little force. And then just pull up. There's push pins holding it in. And do the same on the other side. Now take the carpet, lift it up, and we'll roll it forward. Out of the way. Now we can pull these covers off. Just lift up, out of the way. You can do that on both sides. We're going to take this cover off. There's 4 nuts. Use a 10mm socket. Take these out. Grab the cover. Pull that up. You can disconnect the connector, push on the tabs on the side, and just pull that out of the way. If you want, you can pull the grommet through the cover, just so it's out of the way more. Set that aside. Take this cover off, use a 10mm socket, take these nuts out. Grab the cover, pull it up. We can push the grommet through. Disconnect the connectors. Just push on the tabs and disconnect those. Pull the wires through the cover. Set that aside. Now we're going to start the vehicle and let the vehicle stall so that there's no fuel pressure in the back of the system. Now we can disconnect this fuel line right here. Just push down on the tab, slide it forward, pop that off. You can push that out of the way. You can put a rag over just in case there was a little fuel spray, but we didn't have any. That was good. There's a clamp right here. We're going to have to loosen up the clamp. Using a 7mm socket, loosen up the clamp. All right, if you reach down in here, there's a connector. This wire connector right here. I'm going to disconnect that. Just push on the 2 tabs on the side. And then there's a fuel line right here. I'm going to pop that off. Just push on the tab, pull that up, Separates that. There's two hoses right here. I'm going to take those hoses off. Just pop those out of the retainers. Just want to push those to the side. Now just slowly pull this out. Just going to let some of that fuel drain a little bit. Got a bucket, I'm just gonna go put it in the bucket. Now I'm gonna take some mechanics wire and take this fuel line right here. We just wanna wrap it around. That way when we pull it through, this will be attached. And then we can take, when we go to install the new one, we can just attach the mechanics wire to the new one, and then it's going to be easier to pull that through underneath because there's a little hump under there. Otherwise you're going to struggle to have to try to reach in here and find where the hoses are. It's just going to make it that much easier. Now we're going to take this line off. This is on the driver's side. Just pop that off, push down on that. And then there's another line right here. You want to twist it a little bit, and there's two tabs on the side. Just push on those tabs and pull it up. Might need a screwdriver. I'm just going to use a straight blade screwdriver just to push on one of the tabs, and then you can pull that up out of the way. That's good, those are out of the way. And you've got a clamp right here. Use a 7mm socket. And loosen up the clamp. All right, that's loose. Now I'm just going to take a straight blade screwdriver, just loosen up the clamp. Now to make it easier, I'm just going to use some snap ring pliers. Just spread this clamp apart. And you can pull it off. Just move the hoses out of the way. Go. Take that off and we'll pull the seal up. Take that off out of the way. Now carefully pull this up. And there's hoses you have to move out of the way. And we got to tip it. Now pull this up. There's a hose in the way. Just be careful of some fuel. There's a connector right here. There we go. Let's slide that connector off like that. Just a little tab at the base. If you go in between the tab, then you can slide it down. And then for this top part, it's clipped in right here. You can use a pick right there. Slide that out. There's a spring in there, you can pop that out. This is going to give you a little more flexibility. And you pull this up. Again, get those other lines out of your way. Make sure you get the level out. And we're going to pull this through. Dripping a little gas. And there's our mechanics wire. We'll let that drain a little bit. Just make sure you don't pull the mechanics wire all the way out, because you want to attach it to the new pump. Now with the new transfer unit, you want to disconnect the connector, just like we did when taking it out. Just use a pick. Disconnect the connector and then slide it off, just like that. And then take the top. You want to separate the top part so that you have a little flexibility. I'm going to take the lines, and we're going to use our mechanics wire. And this time we're going to wrap it around all the lines, just so it's easier. When you go to pull it through, and you want to feed this through. And we'll just push that through. And just slide it in position. There you go. Don't forget the spring. Slide that on. Push that down. Connect the connector. And line the connector up. Lock that in place. And before you push it down all the way, you want to get the seal on. Take a new seal, go over the outside. And just get that lined up. If there's any dirt and debris on there, you want to wipe that with a rag. This one's really clean. Push that on. It's going to go like that. Before we connect the line, though, I'm going to take the clamp and take the snap ring pliers, spread that. It's actually a little easier to get it on than to take it off. Just spread it with your hands. There's a little tab right there that lines up. I'm going to line that up with the tab. And then you can put the lines on, get those started, push those down, and then we can tighten down the worm clamp. Alright, that's good. Snug that down. Just make sure that little tab right there is lined up with the tab on the fuel tank to make sure everything's in the right spot. And we have these lines over here. We can take the mechanics wire off. You'll be able to reach them. Now, carefully take the fuel pump, slide the float in, slide that in. Then you kind of have to move it out of the way so that you can get to the lines that you need. Pull this line up and the other two. I'm going to try to get the other two lines in first. There we go. There they are right there. So you want these lines to go in the two slots right there. And right next to it. So those are pointed down. Those are out of the way. Now we're going to get the other line. So reach around, feel for that. To make this a little easier, this rod right here will push down, and you have a little bit more room to grab the line. There we go. There's the line. I'm going to connect the connector first. Right there. Connect the line to the base, just push it down. Those are all connected. Then you can take that rod, slide it back up, get that lined up, push that in place. All right, get these hoses out of the way. And before we push that on, we got to get the seal on. Take the new seal, slide it around the pump, get that lined up, and then there's a little tab right here that lines up with the tab on the back. Push that on. Everything's out of the way. Now we'll get that lock ring, and that's going to line up with the tab as well. For getting on, I'm just going to slip one side in first and then wrap it around. You can use the snap ring pliers if you want to, but it's not as hard as taking it off. There we go, that's lined up. Just take the ratchet and tighten it down. Alright, snug that down. Take the line, lock that in place, and you want to take the cover, take the connectors, go through the cover, push the grommet in place. Now connect these two connectors. They only go one way. That one goes there. This other one goes here. Lock that down. Push that in place. Take the nuts. Get the nuts started. And tighten down the nuts. Take the cover, line it up. Now take the cover, put the connector through. We can push the grommet through. Get that in place. That's good. And we'll connect the connector. Line that up, lock it down. Take the cover. Go like that. That lines up. The little dot goes towards the front of the vehicle. Now put the nuts on. Tighten these down. Snug those down. And take the cover, slide it in place. Now take the carpet, Slide that back in place. Make sure that looks good on both sides. I'm gonna take the panel, get that lined up, snap it in place. Underneath the seat right there. Make sure that's lined up. Take the weather strip, push that back in place. There we go, that's good. Do the same on the other side. Take the back seat, get this lined up. I'm going to take the seat belt and go through the slot. Just make sure it's not twisted. It's going to go right there, and the buckle is going to go right over it. Take the bolt, get the bolt started. Tighten that down. Now torque that bolt to 46 foot-pounds. Now line the seat belts up. The buckles, you want the buckles to go through. You can reach underneath from the front to help access the buckle. There we go. There it is. That's good. And push the seat down, just like that.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.